Coming up on Cptv, the city of Crown Point makes preparations for a new off-the-square attraction site. Peyton Belcher brings his coverage and reaction of the presidential inauguration, and we'll get you caught up on all things CP Sports as all winter sports teams were in action over the weekend. Cptv is up next. Hi, I'm Drew Zimmerman.
And I'm Reese Groppentine.
Welcome to CPTV. Mitch Bold will have your 5-day weather forecast, and Nick Morgan will bring us CP Sports highlights.
Here's what's happening at Crown Point High School. What would schooling be like without grades? A recent article in Fortune magazine revealed that Singapore, known to rank globally for its math and science education programs, is starting to eliminate the process of using grades to assess students. But is this something we could expect here in the U.S. anytime soon? Jack Gardner met with CP students, administrators, and teachers to find out where we stand on the practice of grades.
Lately, countries such as Singapore and Finland, whose global test rankings are some of the highest in the world, are taking a new approach to the assessment of their students. Singapore specifically is leading a charge to drive grassroots innovation with the goal of which most overworked students dream of, the scrapping of grades from the student assessment. To gain a more relatable perspective on this topic, we asked the students and staff of CPHS alike what their viewpoint is on scrapping grades entirely.
I believe that an assessment system with grades rewards those who can play the game the best, such as the GPA game.
We work in an educational system that treats grades as products. And it's nice to be able to go home and pin an A+ onto the refrigerator, but that A+ is never really going to do anything for you in the real world.
It's not a complete overhaul of the grading system. It's taking a look at the purpose of a course and what they're trying to strive for, and trying to create a grading system that best meets what the aims and the goals are of that course.
The question still remains, is it possible to implement these policies into our school system? For CPTV, I'm Jack Gardner.
Much of the nation, as well as the CP community, followed Friday's inauguration of the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. CPTV's Peyton Belcher spent much of the day following the day's events and talking with students and teachers about their reaction to the transition of presidencies and the concurring protests.
After over 7 months of turmoil and a national divide between Americans, Donald J. Trump was sworn in as president on Friday.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
While many traded in the riots and protests in D.C. for the comfort of their own homes, here at CPHS, all eyes were on President Trump as he was sworn in by Chief Justice John Roberts.
If he follows through on the things that he says he plans on doing, I don't think it'll be very good for our country.
I support Trump because I think he's going to follow through with what he says he's going to do. Me and my family decided to go to the inauguration. We wrote to our congressman, and we got tickets, and we were pretty close to the Capitol. There's a lot more people there than CNN reported.
Together, we will make America great again.
While marked with protest and turmoil, the new administration was focused on the pomp and circumstance associated with the transition of presidential power. For CPTV, I'm Peyton Belcher.
Long known to be an eyesore, the corner of West and Joliet Streets is about to get a makeover that will soon become another attraction to the Crown Point community. Here's CPTV's Evan Holland with more.
Crown Point, Indiana has been voted the best downtown in Lake County since 2009 and the best place to live in Lake County since 2010, according to the Northwest Indiana Times newspaper. However, an empty lot has been seated just off the square for nearly 15 years now. This area, located just off the corner of West Street and 231, once served as the bus lot for the Crown Point Community School Corporation. However, when the new high school moved to a different location in 2003, the site became vacant a few years later. The city has recently purchased the 2-acre plot of land from the school corporation for $1 and a promise to award $100,000 in technology grants over the next 10 years. The city plans on creating a downtown park that includes a splash pad, a band shell, and places for as many as 55 vendors.
We were trying to find a balance how to, one, invite people to our community, especially our downtown core. At the same time, be smarter with our resources and how we're able to have these events take place without having to basically interrupt people's daily lives, whether they attend or not. And our goal is hopefully to have that venue open in some capacity by the fall of this year.
For Cptv, I'm Evan Holland.
We'll be back with Mitch Bolda and weather.
This past weekend, temps hovered right around 60 degrees, which is something we don't typically see until early April. By week's end, though, we'll be back to more winter-like temperatures. Here's what you can expect for the rest of today. By noon, we'll have already reached a day's high of 47 degrees with cloudy skies, and that cloud cover will remain as we dip down to 40 degrees by 6 p.m. For the next 5 days, temps will dip into the low 30s tomorrow with a slight chance of snow during the afternoon hours. Friday will be cloudy and a chilly high of only 27 degrees. For the weekend, Saturday and Sunday will both look a lot like Friday, but Sunday will see cloud cover break and we'll get a peek of sun throughout the day. To start the week, Monday you can expect a high of 31 degrees with sunny skies. And that's your 5-day forecast. Still not too bad for late January. Reese, Drew?
Junior Maya Scheidt hits the shot of her life against Chesterton. Nick Morgan has it all in CP Sports.
The boys basketball team traveled to Chesterton on Friday to face the Trojans in a DAC matchup. CP jumped out to a quick 12-2 lead with 8 points coming from big man Andrew Keneally. Chesterton did cut the Bulldogs' lead to 5, but that's as close as they would get as Crown Point dominated on defense, giving up 0 3-point baskets and holding the area's 4th best offense to just 40 points. Sasha Stevanovic led the Dogs with 22 points and Keneally added 15. On Saturday, the boys had another tough game, this one a rematch of last season's regional final against Warsaw. Here with more is Cptv's Ethan Burdine.
Coming off their second DAC win last night, Crown Point will be tested yet again in a regional championship rematch with Warsaw. The Tigers and Bulldogs will be meeting for just the second time in the last 30 years. Crown Point led double digits midway through the fourth, but Warsaw's Kyle Mangus brought the Tigers back and forced overtime. In the overtime, Crown Point used Stavanovic's three-point shooting and Keneally's post offense to finally pull away from the Tigers, eventually winning 50-46.
I think it would have been really easy for us to fold there at the end, especially there in the overtime period, but we didn't. Our kids found a way to pull it out, and I'm really proud of them for it.
CP dominated early and often in the rematch. Dogs played tremendous defense all throughout the game, but received a little help from the Tigers with their appalling shooting performance. Andrew Keneally and Sasha Stevanovic both had key performances in a big 50-46 overtime win. Crown Point is back in action next Friday against Laporte at home. For CPTV, I'm Ethan Burdine.
The boys tip off against the Laporte Slicers here on Friday at 7. The Lady Bulldogs traveled to Chesterton to take on the Trojans Saturday. Both teams shot well, which kept the score tight the entire way, yet the Dogs trailed 37-35 in the final seconds. But as the final horn sounded, junior Maya Scheidt hit a game-winning three-pointer, giving CP the 38-37 win.
It was the best feeling in the world. Obviously, I had a bad game, but that was the only shot I had to make, so it feels great.
And that's it for sports.
Most of the high school experience revolves around competition. Many students are competitive regarding grades, sports, or even clubs. But there's a group of CPHS students who have a different take, and they're telling everyone about it on YouTube. Here's an inside look at SBW, also known as Skater Boys World.
Well, it stands for Skater Boys. Corin and I are easily the worst skaters of the bunch. We're kind of a benchmark for everybody that watches that's never skated before.
We just, skate around, making other people laugh. To me, SBW is just having the best time that you could have, even though you're not the greatest at it.
It's just a fun time, and it's a way to vent our personalities into one video, or into a series of videos.
My role in SBW is kind of to bring more of the skating aspect into it. I kind of help with doing some of the more idiotic, goofy stuff.
You don't necessarily have to be good at something to have fun with it, and I think that's what SBW kind of means.
Well, that'll do it for today's show.
Remember, you can view all of our past episodes on cptvmedia.com.
You could also follow us on Twitter at Cptv Media.
For Mitch Bolda, Mick Morgan, and all of us here at CPTV, I'm Drew Zimmerman.
And I'm Reese Groppentine.
We'll see you next time.
Take care.